I got some really good news. You know, the other vlog, when I was having a really tough time with the cultivator. And it wouldn't start on me. Well, our mechanic Jay, we had it planned for him to come by to do some work on our van. When he came by, he took a look at the cultivator too. And you know what? He got it running. So the problem that it had all stemmed from the fuel that I was using. It was from the ethanol fuel. Yes, the ethanol fuel causes moisture from the air to get into your fuel and your fuel line and inside your engine, and that can cause corrosion later on to your engine, but it can also cause it to not to start, and that is what the problem was. So we got it started. I was able to knock out 6 beds, yep, prep 6 beds, and about the time that it took me to do 1 by hand, I was able to knock out 6 beds and prep 6 beds with the cultivator. Pretty cool, huh? Also, I bet you're wondering, where are you at? We are in, where are we at?
In the playset.
So we are up here in the playset. Look at here. Yeah, wow! And this is the view that the kids have, the chidlers have of the farm. They get to look around and spy out. What do we see up here?
We see ducks.
Yes, we can look down. We can spy out from our lookout tower. We can keep an eye on everything here in the farm.
And we can keep an eye on Daddy whenever we don't know where he is.
So they keep an eye out on me from their spy tower. Sneaky little chidlers you are. Sneaky chidlers, is that what you are?
Yeah!
It was raining earlier this morning, and in here we have protection from the rain. Okay, who is going to be the first person down the slide?
Still wet!
What? It's still wet. That just makes you slide down faster, right?
Oh, yes.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Here we go. I missed the water. Yeah, next up, Selah. Go. Woo. Josiah. Woo. Somehow, long story, but we have 3 washing machines right now. And we're gonna actually take one of those to the scrap yard, and one of them we're gonna plan to turn to a salad spinner at some point. But well, as I'm taking that washer, we're also going to take some other scrap metal just to continue just clean up around here, like I said. Earlier today, Selah helped me in the garden. Some of the beds that I tilled up and prepped, we were able to go ahead and put some seeds in those beds. We put in some arugula, some radishes, and I replanted some squash. So look forward to having some squash again, and we're gonna do some things to prevent maybe having that powdery mildew again. But right now, we need to go ahead and get that washing machine loaded into the truck to be moved out. All right, are you ready to give me a hand with this washer out here?
Yeah, I'm just working on another video.
There we go. I told people it's a long story, but somehow we have 3 washing machines.
Yes.
So I added a little bit of weight to my back, and he's asleep now. But I want to show everyone something before we move the washer. Selah, Josiah.
I'm here.
Come here, I'm going to show you everybody something. Come on. Mommy too.
Oh.
Come here.
I'm coming.
Be very quiet. As I was picking up some of the scrap metal here, I found something. All right, who trusts me? Who trusts me?
I do.
We all do.
All right, slowly pick up that metal right there. Mommy trusts me. Of course Mommy trusts me. Hope she does. Slowly pick it up and quietly pick it up. And tell me what you see under there. Keep going, keep going. It won't hurt you.
That is so awesome. We gotta put it back down so we keep it warm so their eggs will stay warm.
Pretty cool, isn't it though?
Yeah.
So you know what you need to do now, don't you? What?
Put something around it.
Well, we need to make sure we don't step on this so we can keep checking back and see if we can see them hatch. That would be really cool, wouldn't it? So we've seen chickens and ducks hatch, but that would be pretty awesome to see some lizards hatch, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's make sure we don't step on this piece of metal.
What do you think about that, man?
Yeah.
All right. Stay right there for a few minutes. Yep. For some strange reason, every time we're doing projects like this, a song comes to my head. Kind of goes dun 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 dun. While I'm taking the washer, we also have this old grill that doesn't work, and we're gonna take two. We're gonna go ahead and try put this tub inside the truck here. See if we can do it. Bang! I can't remember if I said it before, but right now we have two lawnmowers that aren't working. And while I'm out, I'm gonna go ahead and take one of them, the better one, to Jay to work on, our mechanic. I wish it was a simple fix like the tiller, but regretfully it's not. He looked at it the other day and said he's actually gonna need to work on it. So we're gonna take it to him to get it worked on. We're packed in, but we're in, aren't we, Selah? Let's see, where's Selah? There she is. Can we see you?
Yes.
Hey there.
Hi.
You ready? All right, we are ready. I try to make sure that I take at least one of our kids with us on each trip that we make. So that way we can involve some learning and just sharing life together. And I'm spending time with Selah this time. And now it's raining again. I get here and this is what I see. I had no idea that they were closed. It's not a holiday today, but it's their business. I guess they're closed. We're gonna drop off the lawnmower and head back home. Just dropped off the lawnmower. And you know what, after thinking about it, I am gonna go ahead and go to another scrap place, scrap yard. Take the metal, 'cause I want it off the truck. We may even drive by and see the house that we used to live in the city. I haven't been here in a long time.
Me either.
You remember this place?
Yes, I do. So we are at the scrap metal place.
feels good to make a mess when you're allowed to make a mess.
That is a lot of metal.
Guess where we are? You know where we are, Selah? We are in the neighborhood that we used to live in, here in the city of Concord. Look at it. I remember planting all that stuff out there. Come on now. Ooh. Selah, what did you think of driving through our old neighborhood and seeing the old house that we used to live in the city?
I think it was cool.
It was cool? Well, when I drive through the old neighborhood and I see the house that we used to live in, it's bittersweet for me. Do you know what bittersweet means?
No.
You don't know what it means? Bittersweet means when you have a good feeling and a sad feeling at the same time. It makes you happy and it makes you sad somewhat at the same time. I have that feeling because when we used to live in that house, that is when our family began, when we started to have our first children. That's when you were born. That's when Josiah was born. Is when we lived in the city in that house. And when I think about the house and I see it, and I see other people living in it, I think about the times that we used to live in it. And I think about the work that we put into it. And I also think back of when you were little, before you could walk, and when you were about Micah's size, or when you were even younger, that I would push you around down the neighborhood. I'd push both you and Josiah, push you in the stroller up and down and around the neighborhood. And I also think that is when I got into gardening, when I started farming and we started growing our own produce. I think about all the various plants and produce that we grew there. I think back when you were sitting at the table in the dining room and we were starting little seed trays and you were right there with us. And I think about
watering the plants?
No, this was before, when you were real small. I think back at that time when you were really small and you were sitting in your high chair and we were sowing seeds in our seed trays and you were just sitting there and watching us and just playing like a little baby. I think back of when I had you in the baby carrier and we'd walk around the yard and look at the different plants that were growing and look at the flowers, and then we would harvest some of the plants. And I remember one time I had you on in the carrier and I had this big cabbage. It was my first really big cabbage and you were right there with me just smiling. It was cool. Did you know that? No. So would you want to move back to the city? Would you want to move from here on the farm, move off Big Pond Farm, move away from all our chickens and our ducks and move back into the city? Would you want to do that?
Never.
Never? Me either. I love it here in the country. I love it here at the Big Pond Farm. We get to see our ducks and see them play in the pond and all these things we couldn't do if we lived in the city.
Yeah, we couldn't see herons.
Nope, we wouldn't see all of that. We love it here in the farm. We had a great time when we lived in the city, but we have a great time here at the Big Pond Farm.
Ching, ching.
We are country people. We are farm ninjas. We're a farm family.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right. Let's go down the slide one more time. Ready? Here we go.
Bang! You go first.